Today we're going to talk about how to flight the golf ball with chipping. Flighting the golf ball is important because you're always going to have different shots around the greens, and depending on the lie that you have, the distance, as well as the obstacles in between you and the flag, you're going to have to play certain trajectories. So it's good to know them all and how to produce each one. So I'm going to introduce two variables today, and I'm going to show you how to use each variable in a combination of ways, so that way you can flight the golf ball. Now, the first one is going to be handle location. Now, just in a systematic way, wherever it is that you're starting, the more you move the handle towards the target, the lower you're going to start to flight the golf ball. The more the handle starts to lean away from the target, then the higher you're going to start to launch the golf ball. The other variable is going to be the shoulder position, your lead shoulder. So the more I take my left shoulder and lean it towards the target and start to almost create a leftward shoulder tilt, the lower I'm going to flight the golf ball. The more I lean that shoulder away from the target and create more rightward shoulder tilt, I'm going to start to elevate the flight of the golf ball and launch it higher. Now we can take both those variables and we can combine each of those to produce any sort of flight that we want. Now everyone is going to be starting from a different position, so you can't really say that if you put your shoulder in this exact position or your handle in this position, that's going to create this exact ball flight. Everyone is different. And for someone to say that this is exactly how you should do it, they don't work off of a system. So you have to understand exactly which direction moving each of these variables and what it's going to do with the golf ball, so that way you can start to improve your game. Here's an example of using the variables to produce a low chip and run shot. Notice at address, the lead shoulder is leaned ahead of the lead ankle, and the shaft of the golf club is leaning towards the lead shoulder or slightly ahead. At impact, notice how the lead shoulder is still leaning towards the target ahead of the lead ankle, and the shaft is still leaning towards the target ahead of the lead shoulder. Here's an example of using the same shoulder position, but now changing the handle location variable to produce a little higher shot. At address, you'll notice the lead shoulder is still leaning towards the target ahead of the lead ankle. However, the shaft is now leaning a little bit away from the target inside the lead shoulder. At impact, the lead shoulder is still maintaining its lead position ahead of the lead ankle. However, now the shaft is starting to lean away from the target. Here's an example of producing about the same trajectory shot, but changing the variables around. What you'll notice is now the lead shoulder is leaning away from the target, where the lead shoulder is just inside the lead ankle, but the shaft is still leaning towards the target ahead of the lead shoulder. At impact, the lead shoulder is still leaning slightly away from the target inside the lead ankle, and the shaft is maintaining its forward lean ahead of the lead shoulder. Here's an example of now hitting the highest shot possible by changing both variables into their away position to produce the highest shot that we can. Notice how the lead shoulder is now leaning away from the target inside the lead ankle, and the shaft is now leaning away from the target, or less towards the target, and definitely inside that lead shoulder. At impact, we maintain the away position with the lead shoulder, and the shaft is now starting to move into an away position inside the lead shoulder. For more information, go to swingsystemgolf.com.